BOOZHOO! Welcome back to BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. Isn't that right, sweetie? Oh, it sure is. How am I doing? You're doing just great, man. You sound just professional. Nah. So today's Ojibwe word of the day, Misquawak. Red cedar. Misquawak. Misquawak's the Ojibwe word of the day, huh, hon? Yep. And, I kind of wanted to bring this up. Maybe I'm diving into the deep end too soon. We can talk about this in a minute. So how you guys doing? Welcome back to the show. Misquawak is our word for red cedar. And that's the kind of cedar trees, that are sort of reddish. And it's a really popular tree up here in northern Minnesota. And I chose Misquawak today because I was thinking about the name for Cass Lake. Cass Lake is a town, about 10 minutes from here. And they named it after Lewis Cass, some Freemason guy from I don't know where. And but it used to be called Red Cedar Lake because Cass Lake was its Ojibwe name was Ga-Misquawkogag. Ga-Misquaw and then Kogag. It was the Lake of the Red Cedars. That's such a pretty name, huh? But then, of course, somebody got involved and ruined everything. So, Ga-Misquawkogag. And then yesterday, NanaBOOZHOO and I we had a special show last night. By the way, it went really well. Anybody who was been following us. We did a live stream show in Ontario, Canada. And Michael was there. Oh, by the way, today's show we'll hear from Michael. Ikadon BOOZHOO, Michael. BOOZHOO. I told him, say hello. You gonna sing a song for us? Yeah, sure. Michael's gonna sing a song on his guitar, and then NanaBOOZHOO will come out. Anyway, I'm all over the place. Hey, Jessica Gonzalez is here. BOOZHOO. Good morning, Jessica. I was just talking about our word of the day today, Misquawak, red cedar. And it's the name of what our town used to be called. Ga-Misquawkogag, the Lake of the Red Cedars. And so pretty. But then when they built the town, they named it after some Freemason named Lewis Cass. And I don't know, why? And why did we go along with it? Why did we start calling that lake Cass Lake? Jessica says, glad your show went well. Did any puppets show up? You know what? They did. There was 2 puppets there. So last night we had our show in Ontario, our virtual show, and it pretty much felt like this show, And so, we get up there, and there's what was there, 35 people? Yeah, I think so, 35 to 40 people. And so, the pressure was really on. And we couldn't interact with them until the very end. So it was an hour and a half of just sort of riffing and teaching some language and telling some stories. And Michael sang a song about his grandpa, And it went really well. The camera started cutting out, but, we just sort of, lived with it. And, but yeah, so Jessica, the other day, she had a dream where puppets showed up to watch our live stream. And so yesterday there were all these adults, but then a couple of them brought their kids, and the kids showed up with their own puppets. And so at one point, there was this gentleman, he had his drum out, and he was singing a powwow song to get the show started. And his little daughter had this big furry puppet, and she was dancing with the puppet. And I got on there with one little girl. She must have been like 4, maybe. It was hilarious. And I was trying to talk to her, and she would put her puppet up there like, oh, but then she wouldn't talk. And her dad was like, oh, she's shy. And I'm like, yeah, me too. I'm really shy. But so it was really cute. Yeah. So Jessica had what do they call them? One of them prophetic dreams. But so it went really well. And but then NanaBOOZHOO told the migration story, didn't you, honey? Yeah, I did. And so part of the migration story is about how the Ojibwe people came to this place after getting a vision from Gitchimanadu. And but then they never talk about how the Sioux people were already living here. And there's a story that says that Red Lake was named after a great battle where the Ojibwe people came here. And then NanaBOOZHOO was telling a story about how it was over eating dogs. You were like, the Sioux people were all like, hey man, you want to have some lunch? Hey honey, why don't you make a BLT? And the Ojibways were, what's a BLT? And the Sioux were like, oh, that's a black lab on toast. And so they started to fight. And when the great battle in Red Lake took place, so much blood was shed that the waters ran red. And so they named the lake Red Lake. But then you kind of go, what? Really? I mean, who's going to name the lake after a battle like that? I mean, and what was it called the day before the big battle where everyone died, on the beach? What kind of battle? Let's go down to the swimming area. We're going to fight. But then, it was like, oh yeah, we used to call this Pleasant Lake. This was Sunshine Lake until today. And so today, we will rename this lake Red Lake. So, my theory, Red Lake in Ojibwe is, what is it? Misquagamiwi, Jamaica. So the Misqua means red. And I think it has to do with red cedars. Red cedars. I should look this way. So it begs the question, this term, squaw. I grew up my whole life being told that's the worst word in the world. If somebody calls you a squaw, you gotta fight. But then I thought, maybe it's the short term for Misqua, red. Because you look into this town, oh hey, S is here. BOOZHOO, S. Welcome to the show. S says, I just wanted to come say hi. Hope you have an amazing day, Miigwech. Miigwech, Michael, for sharing your talents. Hey, did you hear that? S says Miigwech. Hey, thanks, S. Michael says thanks. It's a good word. Misquawak, red cedar. Humans mess everything up. Yeah, they sure do. All right, we'll see you later, S. See you tomorrow. So, so Red Cedar Lake. Oh, the word. Okay, so now there's a little town in Minnesota called Squaw Lake. And the town is named after the lake, Squaw Lake. And you go, okay, if that's such a bad word, because I was told that was a French word for, a not nice word that you would call a lady. But then you go, so they named a lake after this gross term? Why would they do that? Well, what if the lake was called Misquawak or Misquawagog? You know, what if it was called Red Cedar Lake or Red Lake, Misqua, Gamiwee? And after a while, they might have called it the Misqua Lake. Hey, I'm going fishing down on the Misqua Lake. Hey, where are we going fishing at? Oh, we're going to go down to Misqua. We're going to down to Squaw Lake. And it just becomes, Squaw Lake. Why does it have to be this terrible kind of reading of history? Oh, yeah, that word, that's what that means. So anyway, I don't know if I think this. I was going to say, I think we should start a campaign. We should start calling Cass Lake Misquawagog. The lake, Red Cedar Lake. We should call that again. But then, whose permission am I asking? Why can't I just start calling Cass Lake, Red Cedar Lake? So from now on, when I say, oh, I'm going to Red Cedar Lake to get some chicken and teals, you'll know I mean Cass Lake. Don't you have a song? What was that song you wrote? So I wrote a song. Oh, it's about Leech Lake. So I wrote a song about Leech Lake. How to say it in Ojibwe. Gazaga squadja maycog. Gazaga squadja maycog. Gazaga squadja maycog. So like Leech Lake, they kept that name. They just translated it to English. And that is kind of gross. Zaga squadja may. A leech. The leeches. Gazaga squadja maycog. They should have called the high school team in Cass Lake. It's called the Panthers. Oh, we're the Cass Lake Panthers. But why aren't you guys the Leech Lake Leeches? I want to play a basketball team where their mascot's a leech. Gazaga squadja maycog. What do you think, Michael? You want to sing a song? Yeah, sure. All right. Well, I'm going to turn the show over to Michael Lyons. He's the producer of the show, and he's a guitar player, and whatever. So, take it away, Michael. I'm going to go over here. See you later. Hookah, hey, do-do-do. La-dee-da. How did I do, sweetie? Oh, you were great. Do you think so too, Michael? Yeah, you did a nice job. Hey, I forgot to bring Paul Stanley out. Oh, yeah, do you want NanaBOOZHOO maybe to do that? Sure. Okay.
What did I do with my guitar? It's right here, buddy.
Oh, thanks. You're getting awfully casual with this whole transition thing. You kind of think that people will hang around forever?
Yeah. Where are they going to go? It's 7 in the morning or 6 in the morning. BOOZHOO, Mino Gigajeb. How you guys doing? Good morning. Just having some coffee. Yeah, the show went really well last night. I was pretty nervous and excited, but as the world falls down and everybody talks about, all these bad things happening to them, things just keep getting better around here. If not for the pandemic and the lockdown, I never would have had an opportunity to have such a gig. Like, I've had gigs in the past where I had to travel to a community center. Last year around this time, it was last year ago in the fall, I went up to Net Lake Reservation here in northern Minnesota. And we had a show at the community center, and a bunch of people came out. I mean, a bunch, meaning I think 80 or something like that. Families at a little dinner theater thing. And I brought my guitar and NanaBOOZHOO and Natasha. And it was kind of a long day. I had to rent a car to get all my gear up there and stuff. and finding the place. And then there was a radio interview I had to do, and a lot of stuff. And then after the show was done, got back in my car and I drove. It was a good 4-hour drive to get home. And I was all exhausted, but I felt great, because we had a good show, and I was getting paid to do something that I really love to do. But then last night, it was the same kind of gig, only I never left my house. And so, I brushed my teeth and I shaved and, tried to put on my best presentation I could. And then the show was over, and I just kind of clicked X, and then I was right back in my studio. I was like, this is weird. And it was also, I don't know if this is interesting to anybody. Good morning, Christine. Nice to see you. And Jim, Anine. This is probably not interesting to anybody, but it was my most profitable gig that I've had. And so last night I made doing this thing that's fun to do for an hour and a half. I made as much money as I did when I was a teacher, teaching for 3 weeks. So I was like, I don't know how this turns around like this. I mean, my life it's not chaotic, but it's uncertain. When I had a full-time job and a regular paycheck, I knew every week how much money I could count on. But since this breakdown in the economy and society and everything, now I have these new opportunities. Anyway, I was raised by baby boomers, and they never talked about money, and so I feel awkward talking about money. But anyway, we're all friends here in the BOOZHOO crew. So here's a song I wrote about Leech Lake. How's it go? And when I wrote it, the guitar was in tune. So I might have to do that again. It was kind of embarrassing last night. I didn't remember doing this, but they asked me to send a bio before the show last night. And I have a brochure that talks about all the stuff I've done. And it's kind of a promotional brochure about my books and stuff. But I was also kind of promoting the Teespring page and whatever. And when you read it, it's like a little list, like my resume. But when someone introduces you as, coming up next, we have Michael Lyons. He's an artist, a musician. He was the lead singer of the band, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, it sounded, it was embarrassing, actually. And I went, oh yeah, okay. I can't blame him. He's just reading the script that I sent him. But I think next time I'm going to be a little more modest. So here's a song about Leech Lake, which in Ojibwe is Zagasqua Jamaicog. Zagasqua Jame is a leech. And it goes like this. So I wrote a song about Leech Lake, how to say it in Ojibwe. Gazagasqua Jamaicog, Gazagasqua Jamaicog. It's fun when you sing it. Now Natasha's gonna bring it. Gazagasqua Jamaicog, Gazagasqua Jamaicog, Gazagasqua. Whoops. Gazagasqua Jamaicog, Gazagasqua Jamaicog. Gazagasqua, Jamaica. Leech Lake. And Misquawak, Red Cedar. Sometimes I think all this negative historical stuff we were taught in school, it was almost meant to inflame. They're like, hey, here's a story. Did you know that the French fur traders had a term for native women? They called them squaws. And that's like the worst swear word you could use. And then I grew up, and then when I finally learned some Ojibwe, I was like, wait a second. Number one, that's a bold, rude thing to say about French people. It's kind of a, you're painting the French with a broad stroke if you continue that story. But that's how they viewed Native women. And but it's just like one of a million stories we hear as kids. It's always painted as everybody hated us. The French hated our women. It's like, really? Then how did all this intermarrying happen so immediately? I've had some friends from the Turtle Mountain reservation, and they're Métis up there, or Michif, or whatever they want to call it. And their culture is really like a blend of Ojibwe and French. They're very Ojibwe. I mean, their language is Ojibwe, and it's in North Dakota. But there's like a French fur trader vibe up there. Like fiddle music is still big, and they're multicultural, I guess. I was doing the wrong keys or wrong chords. When her old man ran away, she couldn't stop crying 'cause she knew he was gone to stay. 10:35 on a lonely Friday night, she was lit at the bar, and baby, she was looking alright. I asked her if she wanted to dance, and she said that while she wanted was a good man and wanted to know if I thought I was qualified. Well, I said, baby, don't waste your time. I know what's on your mind. Might be qualified for a one-night stand, but I could never take the place of your man. I should quit while I'm ahead. Shauna Basil, good morning. BOOZHOO, Shauna. Welcome to the show. Is it Shauna Basil or is it Shauna Base with an exclamation point? Probably Basil. Get your Monadu, Michael Lyons. Dagawi tukawishin ando minowe nungu Miigwech gaji iji gakina geku ga iji chikeyan nungu Miigwech ga iji way back Miigwech ga iji gekak Miigwech ga iji bemadazian Miigwech ga iji bemadazian Mino bemadazian Miigwech. Get you money to a great spirit. This is Michael. Thank you for... Oh no, please help me to speak well today. Thank you for everything. Thank you for everything you do today. Thank you for the weather. Thank you for this day. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my good life. I just wrote that. and that was dedicated to Shauna Basil. Like the herb. Almost sounded like a Cree song. Oh, is that right? Do Cree people speak an Algonquin language? Shauna likes the song. Miigwech. There are some guitar riffs that you can sing almost anything. And it like softens it, or it can sound pretty like this bit. And, you know, almost anything you would say right now would sound kind of profound. I clip my toenails every 2 to 15 weeks, no matter what. A poem. Actually, you know what that makes me think of? There's this song. I didn't steal, but this is my version of an Iron Maiden tune. And it's about the invasion of Cree land. And it's called Run to the Hills. White man came from across the sea. He brought us pain and misery. He killed our tribe and he killed our Cree. He killed our game for his own needs. We fought him hard, we fought him well. Out on the plains we gave him hell. Many came, too much for Cree. Will we ever be set free? Riding through dust clouds and barren waste, galloping hard on the plains, chasing the redskins back to their holes, fighting them at their own game. Murder for freedom, the stab in the back. Women and children are cowards attack. Murder for freedom, the stab in the back. Women and children are cowards attack. Run to the hills. Run for your lives. Run to the hills. Run for your lives. Iron Maiden. Any 80s headbangers out there? Let's see. this one again. Why try and know why this feeling inside me says it's time I was gone. Clear head, new life ahead. It's time I was king and not just one more pawn. Fly by night away from here. Change my life again. Fly by night, goodbye my dear. My ship isn't coming and I just can't pretend. Moonrise, thoughtful eyes, staring back at me from the window beside. No fright or hindsight, leaving behind that empty feeling inside. Fly by night away from here. Change my life again. Fly by night, goodbye my dear. My ship isn't coming and I just can't pretend. My ship isn't coming and I just can't pretend. My ship isn't coming and I just can't pretend. Start a new chapter, I find what I'm after. It's changing every day. Change of the seasons, enough of a reason to want to get away. Quiet and pensive, my thoughts apprehensive, the hours drift away. Leaving my homeland, playing a lone hand, my life begins today. Fly by night away from here. Change my life again. Fly by night, goodbye my dear. My ship isn't coming and I just can't pretend. My ship isn't coming and I just can't pretend. My ship isn't coming and I just can't pretend. Shauna, thank you very much. I hope you have a blessed day as well. And I got an applause from her. Miigwech. All right, well, having expressed my inner 80s guy, 80s headbanger, I think I'll invite NANABOOZHOO back to his own show. Weren't you going to tell a story or something? Oh, me? Yeah, did you want to come on your own show? Yeah, that'd be great. Let me just take that guitar from you here. I'm going to put this over here. And then, you know. So, would be a good way to transition. Misquawakogog. Misquawakogog, the Lake of the Red Cedars. I had some friends who were in a band. I had some friends who were in a band that was all native guys. They called themselves Red Cedar Lake Band. And there was one day when we were standing around and they were talking about starting their band. And they go, and I jammed with them a lot, but I wasn't really in their band. But there's 4 Indian guys, and the one guy goes, well, we're 4 skins. And he goes, we could call ourselves the, wait a second, let's not do that. I said, yeah, let's not. That's probably a good idea not to name your band the 4 Skins. But, so NANABOOZHOO, what a lot of people don't know is that, well, I'll let NANABOOZHOO explain. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome. Now you're all screwed up. Fly by night away from here. Change my life again. Fly by night, goodbye my dear. How do I look? Oh, you look good. Yeah, you would say that. Hey, BOOZHOO. How you doing? I feel pretty. Oh, so pretty. I feel pretty and witty and gay. Nah. Sorry. La-dee-da-dee. That's actually the lyrics to that. And what the guy meant at the time was that he felt happy. But when he was saying how happy he was, it was like the gayest thing I've ever heard. Pretty and witty and gay. I'm not even sure what that's from. It's probably from some old music. Here I am talking about musicals again. So how you guys doing? Oh, it feels so good to be here with you today. With you. Why can't I talk right? With you. With you. You know, I didn't choose Res Life. Res Life chose me. West Side Story. Yeah, okay. Is it West Side Story that has the song I could have danced all night or something like that? Because there was one morning, it was the day after a powwow, my dad comes into the kitchen and he goes, I could have powwowed all night. And I just cracked up. I was like, what is that song? And I think it was from West Side Story. Hey, Brandy Marie. BOOZHOO, Brandy Marie. Everybody's auntie. Nah, Brandy Marie is everybody's favorite auntie. I feel pretty and witty and gay and OJIBWE. There we go. Do you feel pretty and witty and OJIBWE? What does it mean to feel OJIBWE? I don't know. If you feel the wrong ones, they get pretty offended. You got to get their permission first. You can't just go around feeling OJIBWEs. That's a good way to get a black eye. So yeah. What was I going to talk about? I think you already said everything about the term squaw that I wanted to. So dumb some of these words are. You gotta question the source. When people tell you what other people said, there's always an agenda behind it. Like what are some of the stereotypes? I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know anymore, you guys. Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games. We got everything you want. You're a very special girl. You're very hot. You're very hot indeed, sweetie. Oh, get out of here. If you want to buy like baby, lo-dee-doo-doo-doo, in a jungle. Welcome to the jungle. Knees. Hey, so it's inauguration day. There's a new leader. Captain Joe Biden and Kamala Harris will be taking over in the Washington, D.C.s. All hail the new commander-in-chief. Now will the world reckon the age of Sleepy Joe Biden. Hey, wake up. You got to be president. Huh? Come on, man. I was just trying to take a little nap here, man. What's that? I'm not sure why he sounds like George Bush. What's that? Yesterday, Natasha was doing some impersonations. It's a lot better when you do them. But I was thinking about the Bushes. For you kids watching this in the future, back in the days of their grandfathers, there was a family who ruled the world called the Bushes. And there was George Bush. George Bush Sr. He would come to be known. And he kind of sounded like this. I'm George Bush Sr. Read my lips. I will be the president for 4 years. And I will talk about a new world order. A new world order where everybody wears a mask. Even at school. You know, so he was kept that kind of Texas accent. But then he had a son, George W. Bush. And George W. Bush one day would become the king of the world too. I think he'll be in there for 2 terms. And he was sort of like the misbehaving, drunken, you know, he was sort of a C student. He liked to party up in college. He was a cheerleader. And he was kind of a grabbler. He was he had that southern accent, but he was always like kind of giggling and being sneaky. So he was like this. We're going to get them terrorists. You know, you can trust me. I'm George W. Bush. My daddy, Poppy, they called him. Well, he was a president before me, and I came up to him. I said, hey, Daddy. Daddy, can I be president too? And he was like, well, son, it don't work that way. You got to get the votes of the people. or I could get my buddies in the CIA to figure something out. We'll get you in there, boy. That's what my daddy said to me. So then I became the president, right? And I ruled, man. I ruled with an iron fist. But then nowadays, you know, you can only do it for 8 years. So I retired back at the ranch. I retired at the ranch, and now I paint the cats. I paint the cats. That's what George W. Bush sounds like. I never really figured out how to do a good Donald Trump. Donald Trump kind of sounds like... Have you guys ever seen Zoolander? Remember that Zoolander guy? I was just really, really good looking. I saw my reflection in the mirror. And then I came up with this look. Blue steel. So you know what's wrong with being really, really good looking? Well, Donald Trump was a little bit like that guy, only older. I'm Donald Trump. And I'll always do this weird kind of one and then okay. One, okay. Because I'm Donald Trump. And this is the look. I call it orange steel. You know. That's not a very good impersonation. But Natasha had Cookie Monster down there. Cookie! I can do a pretty good Natasha. Natasha, do you want to hear me do my impersonation of you? You can't do me. Oh, I bet you I can. What do I sound like? It's kind of like this. You can't do me. Oh, that sounds just like me. Yeah, I know. I can do a spot on Natasha. So, Brian J. Matter says, yep, I can't believe Creepy Joe got in. Guy who creeped out young girls and women. Yeah. I mean, we all saw those videos. I don't even want to talk about it because they'll censor me on the YouTubes. But it's hard to believe that he got more votes than Barack Obama, is what they tell us. He was the most popular president ever. Everybody loved Joe Biden so much. And Kamala Harris, oh, don't you just want to squeeze her? She's just so lovable. She's America's mom now. Kamala Harris. Excuse me. Brandy Marie's reminding me to shut the heck up. Shh. You want to get taken down? Big Brother's watching. Listen to your auntie. So, yeah. I don't know. What do you want me to comment on politics? Yeah. Brian. Thumbs up, Brian. You get it. You get it. It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. There's a line in a Shakespeare play, Henry V, where Henry V goes, they're about to face battle. They're going to fight the French. And basically, this makes me sound smart, but it's the only Shakespeare play I know anything about. But I guess England invaded France because they believed that territory was theirs. Who knew the English, always grabbing other people's land. I know, shocker. But, so King Henry goes in there, and they're outnumbered 5-1. And everyone's scared. They're like, oh man, do we really got to fight the French? They're going to waste us. And Henry V goes, we are in God's hands, not theirs. And just then, it starts to rain. That's the way I feel about modern politics. Oh, I'm going to tune into the news every night thinking that the powers that be are going to control and keep us safe, whatever. We are in God's hands, not theirs. We are in Gitche Manadu's hands. This is his home. No, I'm just living here. It's not a good idea to salute a woman. Interesting. Is that like a traditional thing? This is what Grieving Turtle just said. I don't think people see the messages in the future. Grieving Turtle says, not a good idea. There is something... okay, Brandy. Brandy Marie's taking off. We'll see you later. Giga Waba Min, Minawa. There's something that rubs me the wrong way when it comes to women, certainly like women, sending women into battle. It's like, oh, you sexist? You don't think women should be in the army? It's like, it's not that. I'm kind of embarrassed for the men when we have ladies, fighting and defending us. Yeah, okay. Oh, I could be a warrior too. Yeah, I get it. But I don't know if that's, that seems like something's out of balance in nature when a woman's in battle. And good on you if you're a female cop. That's great. But have you ever seen those videos where a female cop's trying to take down, an average sized man without using a taser? It's kind of funny. But so it's dangerous, It's like, hello, man, you're supposed to provide and protect for the women, not cower behind their skirts. Oh, protect us. But all that matters to some people, and to Joe Biden too, is the gender. He said he was going to pick his first lady based on her skin color and her gender. He wasn't going to get a white man, but he doesn't discriminate on race. He's not racist. So he got a lady of color. So Brian says, if anyone has land now, it's time to plant fruit and nut trees to look towards the future. Oh, Brian, you're a very wise person. Do you ever watch Owen Benjamin? Are you a bear? Onward to Beartaria? Because he's always talking about that. It's like, yeah, it's time to start taking care of yourselves. Grieving Turtle says, you have good warrior instincts, Nanaboozhoo. Don't lose them. Oh, miigwech. Miigwech, Grieving Turtle. I talk a big talk, but I'm kind of a coward underneath. You don't see me joining the military or the police force. I'm all like, hey, man, keep the ladies out of there. And, me too. Although I have to say, I'm all for gays in the military. I've heard it said that if you're in the, foxhole and like you got to defend, you got to count on your comrades or whatever, your friends. I want the guy next to me to be in love with me. I want him to be like, oh, no, you don't. You do not hurt him. I will jump in front of this bullet. I love him so much. So absolutely, we should have gay people in the army. I just don't think women should be in battle, in combat. You know? That's just my old-fashioned ways. You know? Do I think men should be doing certain women jobs? No. I don't think men should be competing in women's sports. I don't think they should... I don't know. I think it's okay to be a kindergarten teacher and be a guy. Should there be daycare workers? Yeah, who cares? Mukwa would concur. Yeah, Mukwa, he doesn't have any bones about this stuff, do you, Mukwa? No, man. You keep them ladies out of the military. What is that? That ain't right. Yeah, I know. Bunch of guys around here. Of course, we're all going to agree with each other. I think 2020 was sort of the year for brotherhood. There's a lot of Nijis who got together and were supportive of each other. Do you guys notice that? Kind of the backlash to the Women's March. We never had a march, but I noticed online and in my personal life that a lot of men kind of stepped up and like, hey man, you're doing all right. Not everything's your fault, dude. Men are starting to kind of stand up for each other. You know, stop apologizing. There was like that campaign for a while there. Remember when Gillette came out, the shaving guys, and they're like, here's a commercial about, hey men, do better. And they showed like men behaving in ways that we don't behave. You know, like doing catcalls. Woo, look at that girl walk by. You're looking fine. You know, like who does that? Nobody does that. My whole life, I've never been involved in a situation where I could be hanging out in the street corner with a bunch of guys whistling at women as they walk by. Hey, you sell fries with that shake? You know, but you see it in every movie, men behaving that way. And so, you know, they started selling this story that men are the worst. Did you know that 100% of all wars were started by men? Like, yeah. And 100% of all wars were stopped by men too. I say cut them give them a break. Oh, did you know that women didn't have the right to vote? Yeah, until men changed the laws. You know, they had a vote that women weren't allowed to vote in. And the men said, let's let the women vote. And then the guy, he goes back to the battle, and they're like, really? Because when you vote, you got to serve time in the military. And you got to sign up for the volunteer fire department. I don't think the women are going to want to do that. They're like, nah, it'll be fine. Let the women vote. Yeah. Men don't get enough credit. I'm here to say, miigwech to my brothers. I know it hasn't been easy for you. You know, in their effort to, I don't know, let me get Paul out here. What do you think, Paul? Do you think men have an easy time of it these days?
No, man. I was going to say something about that. Because, you know, these days, a man's got to be so macho. And still, he's expected to understand and be supportive of women. I mean, what do you want? Do you want strong or sensitive? Because I don't think I can do both.
You can't do both.
No, it's tough, you know. I mean, I'm kind of a macho guy, right? I'm a really macho man.
Yeah, I know. You're a real macho man.
It's true. Hey, can I talk to the people?
Well, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from India. Didn't you have a tour in India?
Yeah, our New Year's Eve tour. Hey, everybody. It's Paul Stanley of KISS. And I just wanted to come on and say hello, BOOZHOO. BOOZHOO. Welcome to BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO. And yeah, we had a New Year's show. We had a New Year's show in India. It was a virtual concert, and we counted down New Year's Eve.
Yeah, but isn't New Year's Eve like 8 hours earlier in India?
Yeah, we didn't realize that. So
everybody saw it on YouTube before New Year's Eve was even over. But anyway, Paul Stanley and Dizin the Cause. Paul Stanley is my name. I'm from KISS. And just want to say, Miigwech Ganawabieg. Thank you for watching No BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO. All right. Well, that was stupid. Yeah, okay. I'll see you later. Paul Stanley, ladies and gentlemen. My hero. Paul Stanley. They just keep rocking and rolling all night and partying every day. Ho-Chunk people know why the King of Hearts has no mustache. But Lac de Flambeau people know why only 2 of the Jack cards have mustaches. Oh, what, Grieving Turtle? What does that mean? Ho-Chunk people know why the King of Hearts, with a white cross on it, has no mustache. But Lac de Flambeau people know why only 2 of the Jack cards have mustaches. Cards are weird, man. You know, all the weird hidden symbolism. I heard that the playing card deck was the first thing that China, who invented printing, by the way, printed up. But that's probably nonsense, too. Oh, yeah, Gillette. So, Gillette was, yeah, okay. You know, it's also weird that Gillette would come out to tell men to be better, because they're sort of responsible for us shaving our faces, you know, trying to make us look like women, you know. The message to men in 2020 was, you know, actually it was probably 2019 when that commercial came out. It was like, man, you're awful, you suck, and why don't you move over, let the women take over. You know, why don't you apologize for everything you've done? And then you're like, what, like invent the car? Write every great symphony. Direct almost all movies that you like. Write almost every book. I don't know. Shame on you. Now buy our products. Yeah. I know. Why would you chew out your customers? Shame on you. Now buy our products. I mean, did it work? Maybe men were like, yeah, we are awful. I better go shave. Gillette's right. I hate men. Because you can't get away feeling that way, the opposite. That's why I always like to turn things over on their heads a little bit. Like, what if that was in reverse? What if Gillette came out and said, ladies, you're awful. You know? And your legs are ugly. Shave them. Gillette. You know, women, do better. You only earn 70 cents for every dollar a man makes. You're lazy. And quit taking the easy, low-paying jobs. You can't count on a man to pay for everything, you know. Gillette. Brian J. Mader says, greetings from North Central Wisconsin. Hoa. Bonjour, Brian. North Central Wisconsin. I'm going out to Wisconsin next September. Going to go see KISS, if they still have their tour. But me and my brother and my great niece, or my niece, are going to go see KISS one last time on their End of the Road tour, on their Gabicona tour. End of the trail. Gabicona. Okay. Yeah. Hey, Gillette, why don't you do better? Please buy our razors. Does anybody else do that? Kind of openly hate their own customers? I don't know. America. We're the worst. Do better. There's a lot of virtue signaling these days. People want a pat on the back for doing the smallest thing. I wear this mask because I'm a frontline, whatever they call that. I'm an essential worker. Oh, okay, good for you. Thank you for, keeping us safe. I feel so safe now because the lady at the Walmart wore a mask. You know, what do you want, a cookie? Just don't sneeze on me. Where's Stevens Point? Let's smudge there in the autumn. Stevens Point. Oh, when I was in college, I knew a girl from Stevens Point. She looked just like that girl from the Twilight movies. Yikes. I think her name was Heather. That's tough, man. Wisconsin women, do better. All right. Well, hey, that hour went by pretty quick, huh? You know, it is such a pleasure and honor to be here, to spend, to have a little bit of coffee with our BOOZHOO crew here. I'm going to sign out now, but I want to wish you all the best day ever. And miigwech ganawabieg. Thank you for watching. BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO. I am NANABOOZHOO. This is Michael BOOZHOO. And Natasha BOOZHOO. And we'll be back tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Same bat time, same bat channel. Nah. Gigawabamin. Menawa. Hawa.